All right, boys. Capital BMX. Restorating some things. Today is your lucky day. We're going to do some Odyssey t1000 rims. Got us there a freshly anodized green 20-inch t1000s. This is probably the most technical thing ever. Just so you know, on a price. It cost $100 for me to have each set of these decals made. The average set of rims cost $250 for the cores. I'll show you. These are, this is Caswell anodizing stripper, and I'm currently getting it up to 70 degrees or better. And that's a bucket of distilled water. That's $100 right there just for that. So these need to get up to 70 degrees. Your ambient temperature needs to be at least 70 degrees. If the flies ain't flying, I'm not trying. That's my little saying. Because if it's not warm enough for the flies to be out and hatching, then it's not warm enough to make a set of these rims. So that's why we're inside doing it by a fireplace. So these decals are pressure sensitive vinyl decals. They're the highest quality vinyl you can buy, and these have to overlap. Like the measurements have all been done to fit a 20-inch hoop, the concave. And if you're thinking, why don't you just put one sticker all the way around it? Because it doesn't work like that. You'll never get it. I've done many a trial and errors, and this is the proven method right here. So these will all overlap at certain intervals, right? So each one has to have a certain amount of overlap here, and then each one has to have a certain amount of overlap right here with these. This piece will go around the center, and these pieces will jump from eye to eye to eye. That's how you gauge that you're on this side of the rim. You do the same thing on that side, and you'll have a perfectly even center of green right in the middle, and then you go through it with these and you fill that in perfectly. If you miss an eye, like you start wandering up, not only will the flame be wonky, but it'll be into your brake line too. And if you have the brake line and the brakes rub, that's a garbage rim. You can't do that. So it has to be perfect. And if you don't nail this 100%, a perfect concave, I follow the shadow. That's what I use as a trace line when I go around. Because if you're off a little bit right here, then when you go to lay this middle piece down, there'll be a little gap in the sticker right here. And remember, it has to overlap a certain way. So if you get a spot like that, you're screwed. It's really a big mess. So this is a very technical thing we're going to do here. So we're going to lay the flames down. The temperatures are all perfect. If you drop this into the stripping tank, and this rim is 80 degrees from ambient temperature, and the stripping tank is only 40, what's going to happen is it's going to shrink. The decal is going to shrink, and when it shrinks, it's going to open up those spots where the decals are linked together, and then when you're done and you peel the decal off, you'll have these lines all over the part. At every intersecting point, there'll be a white line, because that's what we're doing, is the stripper is removing the outside of the green. So if you have any gaps in this sticker at any point in any of these intersecting points, if it lifts at all, you'll have a white line, and it'll literally look like that. A line straight through the center of your flame at every point, and that looks like shit. Even if you get one of those spots, that sucks, because this half is $50. This is the other half, which I already cut down, which needs to be cut down perfectly, meticulously, just like that, or you'll never get the stretch. If you have too much white on there, you'll never be able to stretch it around perfectly, and you'll see all that. I'll lay down a set in a second. So that's the start to this video. Man, let's try to get this going, I guess. I'm not going to make you watch all this, but I'll just do a couple sections. And if you look at a factory set of T1000s, the flames actually go in opposite directions on the rim. Man, this is hard with my thumb. Oh my goodness. This shit hurts. Ooh, this is going to be so much more difficult than I mean, because I'm only using my, I have to use my left hand. That's not good. My thumb is spraying. It's spraying as fuck. See, I need to be pushing right now, and I can't. And I need to be pushing in this direction, so I'm not lifting. Going this way is sketchy. I'm actually starting to have a little bit of concern. It ain't gonna matter, I'll get it, but see, I should be picking with my other hand. It's just gonna take longer, that's all. That's the part where most people are going to lose it right there. Not getting that part down right. And I will go over every single one I lay down and start all the way at the back and make sure I rub that all the way through every single one. That way this spot gets hit 10 times. I'm just saying, it's that serious. See how much faster I can do it if I use my thumb? I'm just saying, I'm not actually pushing pressure right now, I'm just making sure. Because if I don't do that, if I don't hit this, if you don't push this up just right, I'll show you right here. It didn't happen, but it almost did. You see that roll in the tape right there? I was able to massage that roll. You know when you're putting a decal down, how that happens? I was able to push it out of the flame. Sometimes you won't get it right and the actual flame will fold and it'll get a crease right there. And that's why the actual factory T1000s have the same issue. Believe it or not, if you look at your set of T1000s you have really close, the whole thing is loaded with imperfections. Chunks of the flames missing. Some of them have the whole sections peeled off. I've seen it all. Matter of fact, when I was making my center cap decals, or my center seam decals for the seam, probably on this side, right there. If you look at the, I'm just really good, so there's not much of imperfection, but you can see those little tiny dots in the seam. That's because in the factory, they have to polish the rim out like I did, and the buffer compound gets stuck in that crack right there, and then it bleeds out. And then you get these little spots where the anodizing color won't absorb because it's got little spots where the grease was. So that's why the first set of generation T1000s actually say Odyssey T1000 on them, right? And then if you look at that seam line I'm talking about, it'll have a whole bunch of blotches and splotches all over it. So then for the Generation 2 ones, they took out the Odyssey T1000 word and just stuck a freaking oval sticker right over the center hole just to get rid of that imperfection. So if you actually peel up an oval decal on a set of factory rims, I 9 out of 10 of them will have a big splotches in the anodizing where the grease got stuck in that seam. I know this because me and the decal guy figured it all out as we were doing these. Lots of trial and error. I'm going to go ahead and lay the rest of these flames down, and then I'll return for the video and we can do some peeling off. Right on, we're on this last thing, last piece. So a couple things I didn't explain is this towel's here so I don't scratch the part. Right, I'm sliding around on the table. Not that I'm going to, but sometimes I'm not inside on a clean. Sometimes we're outside with only a wood table available. And this towel is just to wipe up my greasy, sweaty handprints and fingerprints, because in your environment, it's going to be hot. There's no way around it. And I'm limited to how many sets of these I can do by my fingernails. So that's why my fingernails are so long and just disgusting, because I refuse to clip them because I will need them for this job. Because I just spent all this effort and energy to get these decals to stick to this. Now I have to peel them off. And you can't peel them off without scratching the freshly done rim, because it's all going to be polished, right? I'm going to take the green off, and then I'll be picking the stickers off with my fingernails. That way I don't, see, I'm not paying attention. That way I don't scratch the part all up, and I run out of fingernails because they get just flattened out doing this next step. So I can only do 2 sets within a week. Usually I have to let my fingernails grow back out before I can do it. It's that difficult. And like, to be fair, my thumb is one of my more important fingers, and it is totally out of service right now. So I'm really working with a half a deck. That's it, and this is hard work, bro. This is like shoveling. This is like shoveling dirt. You get constant pressure on this part to keep these things. And also these little things, the reason I keep these on here, the stickers right now, is because like you have to. Because you're sliding it around on this cloth that has to be here to protect the part. And it's good to wipe the grease off from your arms and shit. Don't get all over the part. If you don't have the sticker on there, the little lint will get caught on the edges of the fucking decal, and then when you go to strip it, it'll have little fuzzies all over it, you know, little green spritzes all over it. It just looks terrible. So you have to do everything has a reason. So now another trick to the trade is always go opposite way the decals are laid. Don't peel it this way, dude. You know what I mean? And we're just exposing the sticker right now. So I'm gonna, man, everything is hard with this finger. I'm telling you, bro, this sucks. All right, look. So I get to this point, and I have an intersecting point here, and I'm gonna push it as hard as I can and go up and down until I know that that intersection is sealed. And you can actually see it if you look, maybe not. Yeah, you see how you can see the line and the overlap? That lets me know that no liquid will get through there. So I have to do that. Come through, find the next intersection. Repeat that. All right. And then I'm going to go through and do all these intersections, and then I'll show you back. All right, cool. So I'm going to fix that spot right there. Off camera real quick, hold on. If I can let you do it on camera. One fucking finger, man. Not over that, but it'll be all right. Dig it, man. That shit disappeared. Watch. Man, I don't know where it went, bro. So that's what we get. We got a double side laid down perfectly in between. We're gonna go ahead and lay those center strips down. I'm gonna do these ones a little bit different. I used to do them in little tiny sections, but like now I'm just kind of got to the point where I'm confident in my distancing that I can get it on the first try. Boy, this shit, this ain't easy. Just so you know, I'm just making this look really fucking easy. Okay, that. And this is where you'll see if you got it right or not. Watch how close this tolerance is. See, like I might even lose that right there and that right there. Watch. It's crazy how close it is. See that? See that cut right there? Right there. But the thing is you literally will never see it. If it gets any more severe than that, I have to go back and peel it up. Got just a haircut, but like I said, it blends right in. And I'm not exactly sure how Odyssey did this part, or whether they used a single decal, or, you know, I just don't know how this part was done, but this is the most efficient way that I have discovered to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the rest of them down. We'll be right back. Kind of getting my flow down a little bit here, I think. It's been a while since I've done this. There we go. Man, that hurts. There's no choice, though. I have to use this thumb, or it'll never get down right. You can hear that? That squeak, 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 squeak. That shit hurts, dude. My thumb is raw. Say, this is not... There's just no other way to do this. Fucker. It's alright, better to have more than not enough. That's why measuring is important. Alright, so I'm just going to go around and find every single hole. You see that? And if I push it down, you see how profound it is now? That's the goal. So I'm just going to go ahead and seat all those. That way the fluid can't come up from the bottom side, up under the decal from that direction either. So basically we are good, man. Stickers are down. And like, I wish there was more I could do at this point to ensure success. Go around and push a bunch of shit and push it all in and try to tuck all the corners in and do whatever you can. But really at this point, you either just did it right or you didn't. And we're going to find out. So this is anodizing stripper. Sure hope I didn't forget anything, right? And it'd take a second because that's some real thick anodizing. And then, like, remember, I can't just leave it sit because the rim is sitting on the bottom of the tank. So I have to flip it every so many seconds or every so many minutes to keep both sides anodizing at the same. But you can see it if you look close. Maybe you can't, I don't know. I don't want to drop my phone in there. There you go. If you see on the bottom of the rim, you see the color coming up? See? It's already coming off of there. This is like the most caustic shit in the world. I'm just all splashing around in it. So I'm going to let that sit in there for a couple more seconds. Or actually a couple more minutes, probably. Perfect. I think we're good. I've been about 5 minutes. You can see it's already gone. But remember, I'm trying to, there's 2 steps to anodizing. There's the anodizing, and then there's, after that, you put color on it. So just because the stripper made it silver doesn't mean you don't have anodized silver layer on the part still. So you want to leave it in there a long time. Not a long time, because otherwise it'll eat holes in the part. There's actually a balance to this. But you want to make sure that you get all the anodizing off. That way the next step is easy. And I'm going to have to say that, yeah. So you see that little gray layer right there? That layer, that is what I'm looking for. That lets me know that the actual anodizing is off the part, because that's the reminiscence of the, or the residue of the anodizing, not the color. The color is something completely different. And it looks really good here. So I just want to make sure that I have all this stripper removed off the part, because if I peel that sticker up and I have any on my fingers at all, I'll actually remove the surface of the good stuff. But I think I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I'll pick off a tiny little piece and I'll just show you what we got. And then before I pick off the actual decals, I have to go through and polish the part. Let me show you. Dig this. Something obviously experience, I'll tell you. All right, so watch. So you see that the layer, right? That black smut. Watch me wipe it. Now, you see the little bit of black still right there around that? That is what's going to happen in the next step. The next step, I'm going to get a rag. I'm sorry, a 3000 or 5000 grit sand rag, and I'm going to use Mother's Mag Polish. And I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to re-polish this lip out. And when I go over it with the sanding pad, it's going to do that. And when it does that, it's going to leave a little area around each cutout that the pad will never actually touch. So then when I peel the sticker off, it'll have a ring around every decal, and it'll be this color, and it'll look a little bit fuzzy, and it looks like a shadow. So it looks really terrible. So in order to get rid of that, you don't want to rub an abrasive material with something with ammonia in it, especially Blue Magic, because it's full of ammonia. But even Mother's has ammonia in it. Ammonia will damage a freshly anodized surface, absolutely. So especially when you're scrubbing it in there with an abrasive pad, it'll take it off. So I'm gonna go over this whole thing with the decal on still, and I'm gonna go around it and polish the whole rim out. And then I'm going to peel the decal off, and then I'm going to go back around it one more time lightly just to clean up the little spots that are around it. So that's how many steps is in this process. So I won't actually know if this is a good part until after I'm done polishing it, because the fear of this job comes in when you start peeling off the stickers and you see those intersecting points, and there could be damage, you know, imperfections there. But I will peel off a little piece here just to show you. Piece that don't really matter. See that, boys? There's our first piece. That's how it works. See how, look at how, I mean, it's precise, bro. Sorry, my fingers are fucked up, guys. Look at that. So it's gonna be, you know, we'll see how it all goes. I'm gonna get this thing polished out. First, I'm gonna go get the shit together, and then I'll turn this back on once I have everything ready to run. Right on, we're set up. Mother's Mag Polish, 2 of these things. We're gonna start out with 3000, and then after we remove the decal, then we're gonna go over with 5000. And what that'll do is it'll give the outside an even more brilliant shine, and at the same time we'll remove the shadow. So we're gonna do that right here if possible. These aren't cheap. These are $8, $9 a pop. that's not a good idea. Let me get this shit out of the way before I make a big mistake. Because well, you can scratch it right now, obviously. That's kind of what I'm doing right here, really. I'll show you real quick. You see the fog I'm talking about? You see the fog around? So you see I can't get to that. That's why I have to do it again when I remove the sticker. So I'm going to go ahead and polish this out off camera. Right on. So I got it all polished out. So now I'm just wiping it off with a rag, clean rag. And does two things. It polishes it out. And I'm grabbing the edges of the flames. The lip, the flames at tips. And I'm helping to peel it up. That way when I go to grab it with my fingers, it's easier to peel off. 75% of this will come off in big chunks. But all the little pieces that are separate, all of those have to be picked off individually. Maybe I should do something here to get it to focus. Right on, right? Fuck, I'm so hot in here, man. All right. So I'll know very soon whether we're working with a good part or not, but I'm trying to do this with my other hand. As you can see, but my thumb don't work. Like, this shit just don't. I try to tell it what to do and it just doesn't do anything. And so, remember that was that small piece that I put down there? If there's going to be an issue with this part, it's going to be in this area right here. So if this area works, I'm pretty confident the rest of it will be a good part. Because this is the most sketchy part. Man, this is so hard to do with this hand. Dang, pain. Yeah, we got a good part. There's no lines. So far, so good. These towels are never good after this. It's gonna be covered in little tiny stickers. Okay, so my lighter. All right, let's show you what we got here. Yep, we got a good part, guys. You see that? I'll get rid of that little bit of haze See a little bit of a haze. There, you can see it right there. See that little gray haze around there? I'm going to get rid of that. We got a good part. Man, I'm going to go ahead and peel the sticker. And then I'll see you in a second. All right, I got everything off that's going to come off on its own accord. I'm going to have to go around and pick all the rest of it off. But you can see once I get rid of that fog on there, you can really see it. Yeah, I'll wipe that off. Get the rest of these decals picked off. We got a killer rim. Right, we got a rim. I see one itty spot right there. See it? One little spot, bud. That's not bad. One imperfection. Badass. That's how you do it, man. Capital BMX Restoration. You just saw history. And if you've watched this whole video and you don't at least hit the like button, dude, you're bogus. That's all.